Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are
We're
the Pageant
back.
Gurus and hope you guys are doing well. I know this video is coming out a little too late, but I think Guru and I were just thinking in what happened at the finals. How are you feeling, Guru, after the entire show? How do you feel?
It's almost a week, and we took our time. And trust me, guys, it's going to be worth the wait. We've taken time to, demystify every emotion that we went through, every nuance of why, what, how. There's so many questions to answer, to deliberate on, to discuss, to have views on. And, this being the first formal pageant Guru season of Miss Universe with Guru and Emma. And with all that we've been doing, it's been a lot to take, but it's been an amazing and thoroughly enjoyable ride. So, Emma, how do you think there's so much to talk and so much to discuss? How do you think we should structure this?
All right, so this is going to be a treat for you guys because this is what Guru and I decided because there's just so much to talk about. And you know us, we love to get really into the details of everything. So we've decided to split all of it into a 7-part series. And this is something we're dedicating ourselves to do. Fingers crossed, every week you're going to get a video out of us, and we split it into 7. It will be the overall show, the top 16, the evening gown, the swimsuit round, the question answers, the performances, everything, including a special edition for Anne. I think we need to speak on her a lot.
Yes.
She's been there in the limelight, and I think we all have opinions about her, and we'd love to share ours as well. So yes, 7-part series starting from this week. And Guru, why don't you tell them what we have in store for them today?
Yes, so 7 for us is very symbolic. We have 7 colors in the rainbow, 7 notes, 7 days, as Emma said 7 deadly sins. So it's all about the unique power and the godly, spiritual, and magical and mystical 7. I think the first part is all about the overall production, the show, the hosts, the musical performances. I think that's going to be the first theme because that's very distinctive compared to previous editions, because this is one unique edition where we had transitions. We had the IMG era where half of the preparations were done basis the previous management. And in October we had the new JKN group coming in. So what flavors they brought in with the new crown, the new sash, the new theme, force for good, transformational women. So and how did these two, old and new, how did they actually come to life when we saw the pageant? So this, I think, was the second year where Emma and me, and you would have seen it in our previous episode, where we were actually together while we were away geographically, but we were watching the pageant together, and it was quite a roller coaster ride. And I do say, from the overall look of it, it was a very, very nerve-wracking pageant. I think the nerves were really high. We were just praying, and there were some huge shocks. But I think overall, the pageant left us quite happy. I do believe it was fair in all fairness. When it comes to overall production, the way it started with the whole Mardi Gras feel, the opening performance, the jazz and the chits, the way the introduction of candidates were, I think it was very festive. It just made you feel that you were a part of a whole, a festival or a carnival. And especially the way the staging was, initially we were a bit apprehensive that the stage is quite small to be able to show the grandness of how Anne had talked about the extravaganza and the production. But the fact that, with clever, camera angles and the way they introduced the whole. They used the audience to their advantage. It was a very passionate audience, some of which we've not seen in some of the earlier, editions. This time, a lot of crowd was very, very vocal and violent, and I think that really helped the whole energy levels go up. So, what do you think about the fact that they introduced the audiences in the part of the show compared to when we went for Grand International and we saw the live there? It was, and we saw when we saw the camera, the final production, the audience were just shown from afar, and the audience is away and the stage is and the show is going on. But I think for Miss Universe in this edition, I think they married both of them with a lot of color, with a lot of music, and you could see the pageant fans really pouring their heart and soul with flags. Though we had a flag when we went to Indonesia. Tell us about that. Tell our audience about that.
Yeah, I would lovely question. Okay, so if you guys watch the Miss Grand International, you see an India flag, that's us. Okay, that's us, guys. Oh, we didn't come on screen, but I'm sure if Guru and I were at the Miss Universe pageant, and the fact that they included audience as well in the screen time, we would have been showcased, I'm sure of it, Guru, because you and I would have been screaming the most. I loved it. The show itself, I mean, if you look at the production, the stage and everything, it was a bit boring. It was not extravagant as Anne had overhyped it to be, but it was fun. I loved the music. New Orleans is a fantastic place for music. I love jazz, and wow, the performances were amazing, each and every one. I preferred the live music from the canned music that you usually see, especially in the I think my favorite moment was I'm Every Woman. Yolanda was singing that, oh god, and it was not a slow song, it was a powerful song, and every woman knows I'm Every Woman. So, I was like, really, my hair stood up. I was like, wow, I had goosebumps. I was so happy that they chose that song. It was a fast, upbeat song for the final look, which usually you would see a really slow one. And it was beautiful. I think the music was fantastic. The crowd had an amazing energy. So for me personally, I felt the whole show in general and stage and setups and stuff was a little boring, and it was okay. They made it up with all the other elements that was introduced into the show. So it was fantastic. I did like it. And if the music and that wasn't there, I guess it would have been very, very ordinary. I don't think it would have been as great as Miss Grand International, because we know they just went out of their way to make it fantastic. So, but yeah, Miss Universe,
I think
step it up.
I think I agree with you. I think the people got the energy going in this show.
Yes.
It wasn't the props, it wasn't the stage or lighting, but the people got the energy high up. And you're spot on about the final look. Normally we have very slow songs which are very introspective about women, but this was high energy, high octane, and you could see some of the the personalities of our top three shining bright. So if you look at Venezuela, when she came out, she was like actually dancing and singing along.
Yes.
Which is so not Miss quintessential Venezuelan, which are the tight, stiff upper lip and very poised and poignant. So I think that was a welcome change. Though one of the performances which I did not like was the evening gown performer. It was very. I think it was the weakest between all of them. I like the swimsuit one where there was this woman wearing this. Pink.
Pink. She was fantastic. I forget her name, but I am going to be, downloading her song on Spotify. She is fantastic. The energy, and everyone were in sync. Even the guys in the back were in sync. And then, oh my God, I think she was best. She was the best. And yes, I agree. I think the evening gown did not really sound so good, but
it was very forgettable.
Very forgettable, and I think I for once, I think, Guru, you can't tease me with the music in the morning with this typical, this is what he does. He puts it on loud music and then on the loud volume on the telly or something, and I'm sleeping, and then this thing goes on and it's jarring in my head. And there are many songs I never liked. Many songs that I've never liked, but this was live music, so I think it was fantastic. I think it's amazing. Well, yeah. So how did you think about the general feel of the show? I mean, were you at the end of it, how did you feel apart from the winner, which we're going to talk about later? How did you feel about the fact that it's now the last in America, probably? Um, I think the next year it's going to be in
I don't
Vietnam.
know.
I'm not sure. Where is it?
No, it's this year in El Salvador.
Oh yes, Elsa. She was, by the way, my one of my favorites in the swimsuit challenge. Remember? Yeah.
Ah,
Oh yes, yes. In Elsa. That's a new. Has it ever been there before?
never.
Never.
So I'm quite glad the fact that for the first time after a long time that they were able to announce the host country during the live telecast of the previous show, because normally as fans we would want to know where the next pageant is going to be, who is the host country, and that used to always be one of the exciting moments. Even when we went for Grand International, they announced that it's going to be in Vietnam. And they even decided and showed the date, 25th of October.
Yes.
That's going to be there. So, that was a welcome change. It just shows that, the pockets of, this production or this owner is full. They are not uncertain, they are loaded in terms of money. They understand that what the pageant fans want. I think it to a great extent, they were able to fulfill most of the needs of what a ardent pageant lover wants, which brings me to the topic of the hosts. So this time we had four hosts.
That was my next question.
Run, and then two what do you say, the backside or the background owner? No, what would you call them?
Backstage. Yeah.
And all women. What's your view on all women? Everything women. I don't think then I should basically not be eligible to be a part of a pageant guru fan channel if this is the case.
Yeah, I think it was okay. Fine, it was nice. They had, I think, all the Miss Universes to come one last time and hosted, but I think it was. Honestly, as a woman, I was kind of choked and like it was getting stuffed down my throat, the whole women power nonsense. I think it was way too much.
You don't need men?
I need men. I'm sorry. I need to see men sometimes. It can't be all women. I mean, a lot of people are going to agree with me. Even men are going to agree with me. You want to see some men. I mean, this is something, when you're empowering women, it doesn't mean that you're pushing away men. They respect that. They respect your emancipation. They support you and they love you for it. So I would want to, if I was a host, I would love to share a stage with a man. I think you need a balance of yin and yang. You cannot have it all woman and fine. It was, but it got way too many women. To be honest, they could have dialed it down a bit. Having said that, it was fine. I don't think anyone messed up. I did not like the wardrobe on Olivia. One of the white gowns with those little black fan things. It was one of the worst things I've seen anyone wear. Yeah, but it was okay. I think it was okay.
Did you miss Steve Harvey? Did you miss Steve Harvey?
I was more like, okay, who broke the news to Steve Harvey that you're not going to be hosting this year?
Actually, the background there is that he was bound by a 5-year contract by Fox. Okay. So, when 2015 was when he was there for the first time, when he said the wrong winner. And if it was not for a 5-year contract, I'm sure they would have never got him again. Yeah. But also, due to the fact that it really created a lot of buzz and news and controversy, and the fact that he was bound by the contract and they took it as, a joke that he'll do every year, which became too lame by the 5th year. So, last year, 2021 was the last 5th year where he was obligated by that contract. And after that, with the new management, they chose to change the host. So I do miss the power in which he used to announce the winner.
Yes.
I think that part was a bit, I've got probably used to him, the way he would do. But when it came to the actual understanding of pageants, I think he was not very thorough in his previous years. Even when he had to call last year's winner, Andrea Meza, he was literally trying to read from the cue, from the screen. So a person who knows pageants should know who the current Miss Universe is and not need to, understand how they pronounce their name. Even with Miss Urvashi, he said
Mm.
Urvushi, and as a
Mhm,
who's a
mhm.
judge, you would want to respect the judge by knowing how to pronounce his or
Yeah,
her
you would
name.
practice. You would practice these
Yeah.
things.
So I don't think he took his job too seriously. He knew that things were just rolling, and he has a 5-year contract. So the amount of effort that he would put in
Mm.
just deteriorated over time. So I was happy with that part of the fact that these women took the time to do the prep work to understand what's the meaning behind each of the capes.
Mm,
What are the designers? What are the especially the backstage commentators. They really took
mhm.
time to really talk about the women rather than just asking or giving futile opinions. So that was I'd like that. Also on Olivia Culpo, the main host, you talk about the fact that not very impressed with her. I think though she's a fashion icon when it comes to the US.
Mhm.
At the same time, she was hosting 2020 Miss Universe, and there was a huge backlash of how boring and how disinterested or she was, and even
Mhm.
when I think Miss Peru came third in 2020, you have this major meme floating around where she's confused in the card where she's reading the name whether Peru is actually number three, because she was in a state of shock. We all were in a state of shock. Uh, and it was not the best. In fact, one of the weakest hosts. So I think she was given enough and more backlash. And I think one good thing about her is that she learned from her mistakes. She
Mhm.
did not repeat it. Her energy levels were high. She, in
Mhm.
fact, had a very famous meme going where she's said that I'm going to pick up Red Bull to get enough energy for this year's pageant. So she took it in a stride, and we
Mhm.
appreciate you, Olivia, for that.
Mhm.
Um, and even Catriona for that matter. I when in the top 16, when they did not have major powerhouses like the Philippines, when they didn't have
Oh,
Indonesia,
she was in
Vietnam,
shock. She was
you
in
know.
shock. Yeah.
But I'm glad she said that. There's always a next time.
Next time, next year. Yeah.
And,
I
and I
do.
also find a few floating videos where they give Chesley a tribute that she
Hmm,
was weeping.
she's
She was
crying. Yeah.
it just shows the because you're close to the whole pageant fraternity, you're so much more involved, and from what I've understood of Catriona, she's not just a beauty queen, but she's also a major pageant fan like us. So she understands the nuances, the details, what we like, and she could clearly do justice to her role. So
Yeah.
from a host point of view, I was quite happy.
I do. I did like Katrina the best, honestly, in the hosting. And I think, like I said, we need a blend. You need to have a blend of hosts and beauty pageant winners as well to come together, because then they have a better view and they ask better questions. They have better, eye for little details that a proper professional host may not have. I think you need to have a little bit of both. That would be a perfect balance.
I agree.
Sorry, that's my baby girl barking in the back. Please ignore that. So, but in terms of hosting, the preliminaries, Harnaz, well, she did not do. Let's address this because we're talking about hosts over here. And well, that
I
was,
don't.
it's
It
written
was.
there. You're seeing the spelling. How can you not pronounce it that way? And where she's from, we're pretty close to those countries. How could we not know the name? So this is something that I talk about. Like, some people are able to host. Like Catriona just held it together. Apart from the other ones, I thought they were not as strong as Catriona. But Arnaz, well, what do you, Guru? I know you have a lot to say about that.
Well, so every year in the preliminary competition, it's a duty or a given that the current reigning Miss Universe would host it. When we look at Catriona, did a fabulous job. Zoe did an even fabulous job.
Yes.
When it came to Andrea Meza, even though English was not her native language, she did well. Even though there were few hiccups, I think Harnaz really struggled. I think it was not just about the English delivery. She was very conscious of being on stage, and which is what really breaks my heart. And it continues all through, even till a final walk.
Yeah.
It was rushed. It was trying to. I want to get over with it. So you see her just talking very fast, this 25-year-old and Paraguay,
Yeah.
so one is the pronunciation, the second is the diction, second is just wrong names. You can't be calling Kyrgyzstan is Kazakhstan,
Kazakhstan.
you know,
No. Yeah.
and even pianist is pianoist instead of
Pianos. Yeah.
saying abundant, saying abandoned. I think, but when she says that, she's into films or she's a media personality, uh, I
Exactly.
was a I was quite disappointed, to be honest, and I wish. And these are skills that one can do by rehearsing, by practicing.
Mm.
It's not something that you're put in the spot, and you just everything requires preparation. There comes a time when you prepare so much that it becomes easy. Even presentation skills. People say presenting is one of the biggest fears of mankind, even more
Yes.
than death. But
Yep.
it's a skill one has to practice, and I believe this would have she. These are the points where she can redeem herself. We talk about the fact that she has a strong voice. Okay, she might
Mm.
not have the body for it, but it's her voice which is there, and command over a language in which you gave your final answer. I could not find that.
Um. Okay. To that, I do have I'm a spiritual counselor, and I counsel a lot of people and a lot of issues that they have. So I do have a certain, understanding on what makes a person lose their confidence. The throat chakra is weak. Her throat chakra was very, very strong to the finals when she won it. When she answered the final question, she was the strongest voice I've ever heard on stage. Where did that person go? But that's the thing I'm trying to say here is that, I think the underconfidence, the nervousness it's come from all the bullying and all the hate, and then she's absorbed so much of negative energies, and she's lost her confidence. She's lost that, she struggles to smile. She smiles, but she's not smiling. She's hurting from inside. I think this plays a big role to why her throat chakra became very weak. And if you look at why this happens as a spiritualist, it's because you've absorbed negative energies. And she was surrounded by this. And I remember in the show there was this section Guru did about bullying and how all the contestants were talking, and she said there was one time I wanted to give up. She did want to give up because you guys bludgeoned her for it. You guys ruthlessly hammered her for it, and this is ridiculous. So yes, I feel that it's really sad that she had to sign off like that, by the mistakes and little blunders. And then I just hope that you guys spare her and leave her. I mean, we know she made mistakes and she did come out and apologize for it, but yeah. And I just hope that the next Miss Universe, you don't bludgeon her for her mistakes or her being
I think
human.
that's already started.
I think you need to just let them be. These women are working very, very hard to do what they do and get where they're at. And I think we should also respect them for the fact that it's human that they mess up, laugh about it, and that's it. Let it go,
I think, I have 2 points here. The first is, especially on the fact that Harnaz won the way she won, and how just because she's a Miss Universe, she had to take so much.
Yeah.
Women would be scared to take up this job because they've seen, okay, what am I getting out of this?
It's toxic. It turns so toxic. Why would I want to be this? Why would, young kids would be scared to enter beauty pageants now, thinking like,
why
oh my
should
God,
I?
this is what they're going to do to me. Yeah.
You've seen the tribute they give to Chesley.
Yes.
And then you see so beauty queens are being subject to so much. Is it really worth it?
Yeah, exactly.
And the second part here is, fans have just moved from one hate agenda to the other.
Yes.
So first it was Harnaz's thing that Paraguay should have won. Now it is about Venezuela should have won. And the theories have started of why USA. So if you see Venezuela, the Instagram followers have become 1 million, whereas for Miss Universe Albini, it's like 600,000. So people are not following her. So now another thing has started. So when will we learn?
Seriously, I mean, you need to self-reflect. All of you need to self-reflect. Everybody who's even finding a fault in any of these girls is like, self-reflect and tell me, when have you not messed up? When have you never messed up? If you've never done anything wrong, if you really are that pure from inside, then tell me. Okay, then I'll be like, yeah, go ahead and say whatever the hell you want. But this is samsara. You are meant to mess up, and you're meant to learn from your mistakes, and you're meant to evolve. So, well, I just want to say that, well, I hope this time people are more kinder to the new Miss Universe. Baby, 1 second. I'm sorry. That they're more kinder to the new Miss Universe and respect her and just, yeah, love her. That's it.
I think, what I like about this time's batch is when they talk of women supporting women, they've actually supported. So Venezuela has gone online and posted saying that she believes that Arbeni is the new Miss Universe, and all her supporters to support the new Miss Universe as well.
Good,
So
sweet.
at least
Yeah.
from her side, I do believe she's a pure soul. And the fact that,
Yes.
this time the top three in Miss Universe are going to be, more important than previous years where only Miss Universe used to take center stage. I think that also helps that the top three are going to be a part of the legacy. Compared to Paraguay, where she did not post anything saying that, Miss India is the winner. And I think that's what beauty queens can do in their capacity to at least have their fans know what their opinion is.
Yeah.
So we saw last year when Harnaz won, and there was a whole video that came out with Puerto Rico and with Paraguay saying that we are not kittens, we are bitches, and we are tigresses.
Oh yeah,
So they were the one who were fueling more toxic behavior and fueling the.
Correct. That's what actually fueled the fans to start taking on from the day started it. I remember the Paraguay, she was the one who actually started the whole hate thing, and everyone just got on the bandwagon, and it just didn't end after that. It's terrible. I think as contestants as well, we have a responsibility to you are on a platform where everybody's watching you. You have people following you who want to mimic you, who want to be like you. So be very cautious about what you're saying. And be very conscious about what you're saying as well. So yeah, well, that's what I just feel that I would just want to send a lot of love to Miss Universe, Miss USA. We will share our views on what we thought about the winner and a whole lot of other amazing, fun stuff coming up for you. And I also want to just share one thing is that, well, whatever happens, remember we're all alike. We're all human. We all have to learn from ups and downs in life and then, well, take it from there. And yeah, I think enough hate. I think, no, it's not cool. It's not in. It's not trending. Skip it. All right, guys, start awakening, start evolving, and start seeing from your third eye, not from your conventional reality. Stop doing that. It's toxic, it's wrong, and it's not helping anybody, and it'll come back at you one day. Like I say about karma, it comes back one day. So let's put a stop to that. Okay, guys, and over to Guru.
So yes, so on that note, it's I think we'll give a teaser as to what we're going to discuss next in our next episode, which is the top 16. Yep. And it's all about, the shockers, the surprise, the good, bad, ugly. It was the nerves. Look forward to discussing that very shortly. Till that time, I guess, let's just keep rocking and happy pageanting. I think we all are recovering from the Miss Universe fever. It's it's mellowed down. But that doesn't mean that we are going to be taking a back seat. There's lots more to come. So do keep liking us. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for all your good wishes, the comments, the likes. Really appreciate that. And so let's see what's next.
And see you next week with our second episode, and we will be back with more stuff. And trust me, we have a lot to discuss. This doesn't end with Miss Universe 2022. There's so much more. So guys, keep following us and comment on how you liked our views on the show today. I'm sorry for my little baby girl. She is in a bad mood. Sorry.
So we are almost going to get 100 subscribers. So please subscribe. We would love to celebrate our 100 subscriber with you. It's the first step, and I believe we're going to go from step to step. So first 100 is our first milestone. So please do subscribe. And we look forward to celebrating that small victory with all of you. All right then. Take care, Emma, and take care, all of you. Signing off, Pageant Gurus. Bye bye.
Take care. Stay safe. Love you. Mwah.
Shukriya.
Bye. This could be anyone. This could be anyone. USA, USA, come on, USA, come on. Come on, USA. Yeah. Woo! Amazing. Oh my God. Whew.
It's very simple. It's Miss Universe. It's Miss Universe. Nothing less than excitement. Yeah.